As always, before we get started, we need to be safe. Always wear your proper PPE, gloves, glasses, anything else you feel may be needed. And we want to unplug the unit. You always want to disconnect power so we can be safe. All right, to start with, I'm going to go ahead and remove my fresh food doors. The hinge cover up here has one Phillips head screw inside of it. Let's go ahead and remove our Phillips screw. All right, so inside of our cover we have a black and white connector that's going to our reed switch. The magnet side is actually on our door, and then we have a red and black wire that are going to our mullion in between the two French doors. On this unit, the mullion is on the left-hand fresh food door. So before I remove the left-hand door, let's go ahead and remove our mullion. It's got two Phillips screws. And then we're going to slide it up. Carefully pull it away so we don't damage the wiring. And I'm just going to disconnect the two wires on it. There's our mullion assembly right there. For our hinge, we have three 5/16 screws. All right, now with my screws removed, I'm going to go ahead and take my hinge and pull it outwards. We're going to pull the door and lift it straight up and off. At the bottom of the door, you see we have a plastic bushing, and we also have a plastic tensioner. And this is our lower hinge pin that goes into the bottom of our fresh food door. It is removable. It is threaded. So removing the right-hand door is the exact same process. I'm going to go ahead and remove my Phillips head screw from my hinge cover. So we're going to go ahead and disconnect we got a red and white wire going to our reed switch. And we got a red and black wire going to an humidity sensor. And let's go ahead and remove our 5/16. Now we can go ahead and remove our hinge. We're going to pull it outwards, lift it off of its pin, and set this off to the side. To remove the freezer door, I'm going to remove the basket. Then I'm going to take a 3/16 Allen wrench, and we're actually going to loosen. There's two bolts on each side of this door frame. We're going to go ahead and remove both of those. All right, so the door is sitting. It's got a little pivot point inside of here. So now that I've got my four bolts off, we're just going to lift it up and set it off to the side. So now let's continue with the fresh food section. I've got an air filter located here on the back wall. I got a water filter up here in the top corner. Go ahead and pull those out of the way. So we got lighting on both sides in the top. Let's grab a flat blade and pry one of these covers off just to see what we're dealing with in here. And it's just a little LED strip. So there's one of our little LED boards. Little connector on the back holding. So for our water filter housing, we got a little plug right here. We're going to use a flathead screwdriver and pop it out. There is a Phillips head screw underneath it. takes our entire cover off. And the filter head itself has two little locking tabs that actually lock onto the two little standoffs coming out of the ceiling. There's only one John Guest fitting going to my filter head. So now I'm going to go ahead and remove all of my shelves and my crispers so we can go after our air tower back here in the back. So to remove our air tower, I see two plugs down here on the bottom. We've got a cover with a Phillips screw. There's our thermistor, and then we've got one screw up at the top that was hiding behind our air filter. Let's start by removing the Phillips head screw down here at the bottom. So we can remove this cover piece. We've got our wiring connection hiding inside of here. Two connections. And then we'll remove the Phillips head screw that was hiding behind the air filter. And there's our air tower assembly. So the 4-wire connections going to our damper and the 2-wire connections going to our thermistor. Alright, so to remove our user interface board, I'm going to use a flat blade and I'm going to slide under the bottom of it and just pry. And then we're going to gently pull it up and out. You got two connectors on the back side. All right, so two things I wanted to point out real quick that I found. Number one, my bucket, the container itself actually has these little tabs on the side of it. Those actually lock it in place. There's a location right here so it will not move inside of the basket that it's in. And this little piece right here. Now this was just laying inside of here whenever I opened this up. This is actually a scooper for the ice so they can get the ice. And it sits, it's got a little holder right here in the front, a little hanging lip, so it can sit right there. Let's go ahead and hit the release clip so that I can remove both of my freezer drawers. All right, so to remove the freezer rails, we're going to pull them fully out. You're going to see two plastic tabs here on the left-hand side. There's also two of these on the right-hand side. We're going to push them in and pull our rail forward and do the same with the right hand. Once we get it to this point, we're going to have to hit a singular tab, and set all of this off to the side. So for our upper rails, if these do end up needing to be replaced, the secret is actually with it fully extended, you're going to see two tabs, two little white tabs back here in the back. We're going to push in on these. It's going to release it. And then we go back for the second time. And there's our upper freezer rails. The plastic holder right here can actually be removed as well if something happens and it breaks. There is a clip right here. It's plastic, so they need to be careful. If you lift the clip, you can actually pull this entire rail off the wall. So our bottom holders for our bottom rails actually have screws securing it. So there's a Phillips head screw right here and a Phillips head screw back here. Both the bottom holders do have to be pulled to be able to pull your rear panel. So I went ahead and pulled both of mine out. All right, so the ice maker has a little cover here. I'm going to pry downwards and forwards and pop my cover off. We're trying not to break these little locking tabs that are on it. We've got a connection right here in the front that you're going to have to use a screwdriver to hit. All right, so let's go ahead and remove my ice maker. I'm going to push my two release clips and pull out. I like to pull the whole assembly just to make life easy on myself. And that is, it's got the track for one of my upper baskets mounted to it as well. So if you guys look, there's a screw actually securing. It's one screw, Phillips head, holding my ice maker in place. If we remove that screw, we can actually slide the ice maker right off of its little tracks. All right, so down here in the bottom, we have a little reed switch hidden underneath this cover. I'm just going to use a flat blade to pry it out. Right there is our freezer door reed switch. So I'm going to remove my evaporator cover. Let's remove these two Phillips head screws down here at the base of it. I'm going to grasp firmly on the bottom, and I'm just going to gently kind of pry and work it back and forth. We do have one connector back here that's going to our thermistor. So our thermistor is actually sitting inside of our evap cover. So I just wanted to point out we've got foam that goes across the top here to help it seal. And then we've also got foam that's running down each side. Styrofoam, foil. So we've got our return air duct. Our evaporator fan, connection for the fan, the connection going to the heater, and and our defrost thermistor. Looks like the thermal is built into the heater. So I've gone about as far as I can on the front side of the unit. Let's go ahead and turn it around so we can get to the machine compartment on the back. While I've got this unit turned around, I do want to point out there is no cover for the machine compartment. So as you can see, we do have our red marking. So this is an R600 unit. Of course, it also tells us on this one right here, 52 grams of charge. We've got an inverter on the compressor. It's an Embraco compressor. We've got two different drain pans. This is our primary, but it has a drain tube that immediately drops the water from this one down to this one. And then we have a hot gas line that's actually wound inside of our secondary pan right here. Now there is also a gas line going through the primary, but it's just a single loop. I'm going to try to pull it out a little bit to give you guys better perspective on it, just so you can see what I'm seeing. Here. So I did want to show you guys down here at the end of our drain line, there is a little flapper piece. So if they're having problem with water draining out of the unit, make sure they pull this little piece out. It actually locks up it right here at the end of the drain line. All right, so let's go ahead. I want to pull the water valve out of here. This water valve looks unique compared to the usual. So I want everybody to get a good gander at it. Now this unit only has an ice maker. It does not have a dispenser. There you go. So it is just a single valve. There's just a quick disconnect on it. They housed it all inside of this. I thought there may be more to it, but no, that's all. That's all. Just to keep everything nice and neat inside of our unit. All right, so let's go ahead and let's open up our main control board. It's got two screws that are holding the cover on. There we go. So I just wanted to follow the path that our water is going to take, just to give you guys some perspective. So this little holder here is actually holding the connection for where our house water supply comes in. It's got a little clip here that actually you run the house supply right here, lock it back in place. Water goes down to our valve. Then it's going to come out of our valve and run up to the top here underneath this cover, which is behind our filter head on the inside. So let's go ahead and pull